Hey, hey, hey. We are live to stream a little bit here. Welcome in. Let's focus on this game while we set up the stream. Or actually, let me try to set it all up. We've got, so we're playing number 2 in the arena. Playing in just the Lichess arena here. It's been a minute since I streamed on Lichess. Pop out this chat. Okie doke. Okay, let's just let them get this pawn back. Let's go to e4, attacking here. I think this is a line, and after e6 to go d4, and even queen takes d4. And it's always nice to go queen takes d4 with the very important caveat when there's nothing that can attack you. Knight f6, interesting move. Wants to trade the queens, of course. I don't. But it's not so easy to just... I go here, to trade bishop. And did I really accomplish much? Maybe not. I think, this is a good idea. Knight eg5 and knight e5. That's nice movement with the knights. Look at that. Trade, knight eg5, knight e5, and then they pile on f7. We should just be piling on f7 here. Yeah, I think we got him. We got him. I mean, it's just a pawn, really. But rooks will come to the center. Everything should be really nice. I mean, there is the question, like, are my knights going to be able to escape? Because there's no obvious route out of there. But... like, that's why I would play rook d1 now, for instance, to set up just the simple knight d6. Nice and easy. Yeah, nice and easy with knight d6 here. I think, especially because they moved that once. Otherwise, I would delay maybe knight d6. I could have gone the other rook in. So we got out. Very clean extra pawn for the Gambit man, who is not gambiting this game. Probably b3, bishop a3 is actually now a really logical way to develop the bishop. I think that's really annoying if you're black. Could bring it here also. Okay, let's play this with b3. Check. And swing the other rook into the action. Maybe even rook d6. I guess... no, bishop d5, I have c4, right? So this seems really annoying. Still haven't brought you out. What's up, Kazin? How you doing? Welcome in. I have here... other... whoa. Don't look at that. No, that's wrong. Okay. Alright, well that should be checkmate, actually. I mean, all these pieces are just so killer. You can't put anything on d7. I mean, what's your only move? Back? But that's also checkmate. That's so brutal. This is such an awful endgame. Do anything fun for Halloween? Yes. Yes. My neighbors hosted a big party. Oh, I was going to take her to C6. Okay, yeah, this was a good move, but I guess C4 should end the game. Or I'll just try and get there. Come back. Here. I mean, yeah, I should probably just pick up the rook, as effective as that is, but just any move here and rook d8 check, winning the rook. No, I keep missing stuff. Alright, opponent lives to fight another day. King f6, I was going to go here, stepping you into the pin, so I'm not hanging my rook. So yes, I watched Game 6 of the World Series, and I was Anakin Skywalker at the party. And tonight, we're doing it all again. We've got Game 7 of the World Series interweaved with another Halloween party. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I want to watch baseball, but it's at the worst possible time. I don't know if they're going to have it at the party. Or like, you know, I don't know what the vibes are with that. But I'm so excited. Go Toronto. Sorry if you're a Dodger fan watching this. B3. Okay. So. Okay. So we take it. And the best move here is G6 and Bishop G7 for the record. Because the Bishop operates really, really well. We got B3 to happen. But the Envy Gambit on my channel. Shout out to Envy. Is D6 E5, trying to give this pawn, and then rapid development, Bishop C5. Actually, interesting question. Should I go knight C6, just take that resource away? Probably not. So Bishop C5 here. This is awesome. Gambit Glass is on, baby. They tried to play like this little B3 move in the London. It's not good. It's not good. I'll talk a little bit more about this opening after. So let's just castle here. So they're struggling to defend f2. We got a really quick castle before they got like almost anything developed. So now, ooh, we've got options. We've got options, baby. The rook can come here or here. I don't want to let you escape so easily. So rook d8, knight e2. So like knight e2 is their next move, right? Knight e2 and castles. How can I play such that knight e2 and castles are not their next moves? That's kind of the question right now. Is this annoying? Or do you just kind of deflect him? Knight c6, knight e2, take, check, and then follow it with some knight e4. Okay, let's go knight c6 here. Okay, they take that. That makes sense. Here I was kind of looking at this. I guess just h3, right? This is annoying if you're black. If you're white, rather. Here. So let's start him off with a rook d8. Start him off with a rook d8. As much as I wanted to use the other rook. But this is nice because I am trying to run this bishop out of squares. For example, queen c2, bishop f5, and now I have b5 to follow. Running you out of squares. So then you can't go bishop d3 because bishop f5, that's a problem. Here, yeah, this is really beautiful with tempo on the queen. And you should be, yeah. Not too many more options for you. Not too many more squares for you, Mr. Bishop. Yeah, we took advantage of that poor development. I mean, knight e2, it was very logical. I guess it took away the last squares. Like, knight f3 invites some hits here. But I guess you have to play like that. Knight f3, just shield with bishop e2. Maybe I pile onto that bishop, though, and don't let you castle. Interesting, but really tough to defend. I think my opponent really tried. But alas, and GG. The Envy Gambit. This is so brutal. So, here. This is the best way to play against the London. The absolute best way to play against the London. And the Gambit Glasses claim another victim. So c5, what's the one weak, like the London structure, we know it's super duper 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 solid, right? What's the one weakness of it? The one weakness of it is you played bishop f4, so b2 is hanging. So look at this position, literally b2 is hanging. Let's go after it. So c5, and after e3 to fortify the structure, queen b6, right? Now, the most common move here is knight c3. I'll talk about some other options, actually, at the end of this. But so b3 played in the game here. cd4. Queen d4, not a good move. I mean, it's playable, but queen d4, we play knight c6 here. And they don't get their London structure. They never got a pawn here. A takes b6 actually super helpful for us opening this rook. e5 is an option. But the biggest threat here is just putting the bishop on g7, which creates havoc here. But we can also just take the whole center. Really nice endgame. In the game here, pawn takes d4. And a good move here, but just like for the record, good move here. So you play g6 first, but just g6 if you don't want to play a gambit. You know, white's still struggling to get the structure they wanted. This pawn should be here. That's a pawn chain. Otherwise, c3 is kind of weak here, right? b3 is not what you wanted. You wanted them on dark squares. So this is not ideal for white. But in the game, d6. So this is the Envy Gambit, and really, really fun. Shout out to Miss Envy for putting me onto this, but c3, e5. I think she made it up. I think she made it up. So I've played this. Have I played this before? Yeah. Look at that. What a record we've got here in this position. We've got a lot of victims. We've got a lot of victims here. d6, we got an exclam for it, and e5. Really nice gambit. I'll state for the record, it's minus 0.3. It's minus 0.3 already. Takes. And here already, minus 0.5. I was playing e5 actually no matter what they did. So if they play knight f3, I was still going to go e5. And it's just really fun stuff. Like, we bring the bishop right to c5. I've got a video breaking down all the theory here, here. You can't possibly go wrong with this. Like, it's literally just bring the pieces to good squares, and your opponent will, like, probably have problems as a result. So, anyway, c3, like, is consistent with what London players do, but I'm playing e5, and there's no pawn to defend there anyway. They try to make use of the fortification there here with bishop to d4. We simply just castle. Bishop to c4, maybe not the best. Maybe, yeah, you should have started by shielding here. Bishop to c4, maybe a little ambitious. And we play here the best move, which is knight c6. Knight c6, just really simple stuff. Like, really simple stuff. I'm playing bishop c5, knight c6, castles, gambit class is on. We sacrifice a pawn for rapid development and attacking possibilities. They take on c5, queen takes c5, and yeah, here, this is already lost. This is literally minus 3. I recommended here knight f3 in the game, but you're losing after everything. So bishop g4, for example, and rook d8, literally just simple stuff, improving your pieces. All the moves were good, for the record. All the moves were good. And the engine's recommending, if you're white here, actually to just literally lose a knight, better than just playing pawn takes f3 and allowing, also losing a knight. So, yeah, rough stuff all the way around. My opponent plays knight to e2, and we find the nice move rook to d8, b5, and then rook to d8 was also fine, but just rook to d8, bishop f5, b5, trapping the bishop, and resigns. But, yeah, good development, always going to get him. What white should do here, and Eric Rosen recommends knight a3 on his channel, and it's very similar because it's going to be a transposition. But so this line, after knight d5, there's a ton of theory, and GMs draw often by just going rook b1, rook a1. Here, so knight d5, very, very common move in this position, but knight b5, yeah, nice move, giving the pawn, encasing the queen, right? So the queen's kind of encased here, defended, and threatening knight c7 as a fork. We play the London Crusher 9000 on my channel. C takes d4 here, giving the rook, and playing e5 here with bishop to b4 check, and this position's actually already winning for black here with d3 check, winning the bishop from that route, which is kind of crazy stuff. But yeah, C takes, what I like about the London Crusher 9000, yes, there's a lot of theory that you could learn to knock him out, but it's also really simple because you're just trying to play C takes d4, and then against almost anything, you're just going e5, bishop to b4 check, and getting that poor king that's actually really exposed from this diagonal with the pieces that otherwise would shield checks being out here, fishing for rooks. So that's a fun line, so Rosen recommends knight a3 on the channel. It's just so that if black plays something else, then there's like knight c4 as an option, so it's just like forcing this line. My top recommendation for white is knight c3 and knight ge2, which is actually white giving a pawn in this line. It's actually white sacrificing a pawn a little bit, kind of some weird sort of development, but you know, you defend everything in that position. And yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, go kill those London players, guys. Go kill those London players. All right, next game. No, I wasn't Darth Vader. I was Anakin Skywalker. So, here. Alright, let me show you. Let me show you the difference. See, this would be if I were Vader, right? But this is if I were Anakin. Glad we cleared that up. Tonight I will dress up as Anakin. I got like a little Jedi robe. Gambit glasses on, by the way. As we got the Alapin Gambit on the board. Oh my goodness, don't drop your knight. Don't drop your knight. No, you gotta go into exile on Tatooine for that one. Not good for you. Not good for you, my friend. The bishops are operating perfectly, stopping queen to e4 check, and getting right in between you coming to my king to me coming to your queen. And we just need to play this nice move, queen f3 here. Pawn takes no good, because the rook was hanging. And bishop d6 delays me grabbing the knight one turn, because I can't take it right then, because I would need the pawn. Now I can use the pawn. Queen actually defends the rook. I mean, I could take with the queen. Don't... You think you could get me with that maneuver? Bro, I invented that maneuver. I invented that maneuver in the Bush-Gas Gambit. So, okay. Well, the thing is, if I play knight c3, the rook is hanging now. The queen is out the way. So, do I go... Well, we're just repeating here in that case. Well, it's not really repeating, because I can take it. Other option is take, allow it. Allow it. Check here. And then save my rook somehow. I think we've got like a really funny position. If I go like knight h3, queen a1, knight c3, attacking the queen. You can't take my knight because of bishop b5 check. So like queen b2. And then, can I trap that queen? Rook b1, queen a3. Not quite. I mean, the other option is like we just go totally ballistic in that position and just give the rook, play knight g5. Just go after their king all out. Alright, you know what? We got the gambit glasses on. Why don't we gambit the rook? This is definitely not the best thing to do. I could play like queen d1 and like defend my rook like a normal person, but I'm feeling a little cray-cray. So let's go here. You can have my rook. And let's go after this poor king. Let's go. This was definitely not worth a whole rook. Alright, alright, alright. Now, I want to take this. I got knight c3 here anytime. Okay, yes. Knight f6 check. And taking the rook. I can't believe I just gave the whole rook here. This is me taking back the piece, right? I don't have a piece for it. And, in fact, I'm down a couple pawns to boot. But the king is exposed, and that is going to be all that matters. I mean, my king's kind of exposed too. Let's go here and here. I don't know. Seems like an idea. Could move this knight at some point if it gets me somewhere, but I'm not sure that it does. They lack development. That's kind of what I'm banking on, but this is smart. They're trying to run away. Let's go check. And take g7. Trying to run the queen out of... They're just bundling up. Here in rook h8. It's an interesting idea. Because I would try to play queen takes d7. We don't have a lot of time. H8. Oops, I left you hanging. I should have moved you first. Oh, but my rook was hanging, yeah. So, okay. This. Or wait, trade. Is there some mate? No. Ah, what is going on? Why is my mouse lagging? Trying to come back. This would be sweet if we could pull this off. Oh. Here. It takes in here. Why did I play it like that? Why didn't I just, like, trade like a normal person and then queen d7? No, because maybe the knight would have, like, defended this. No, I don't think so. But anyway, takes in here. I think we're gonna get him. I think we've got him, ladies and gentlemen. Queen a2, because, yeah, I'm threatening to sacrifice my queen, actually, in more style. Yeah, I've got a couple mate threats here. Wait, this was sick. This was sick. I can't believe we pulled this off. Chat, 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 chat. Chat, we just pulled this off. Guys, I'm Paul Morphy. I don't know what to tell you. I am the reincarnation of that man. What a game this was. Oh my goodness, what a game this was. So, okay. This goes down in Alapin Gambit lore. So Alapin Gambit, they play takes, we play f3, and so most of the time the Alapin Gambit will have knight f6 back, right? So knight f6 back here. This is why we play it like so. Pawn takes f3. This would be a direct transposition to just like a normal position, like take, bishop d3, knight back, and knight to f3 in this position. So here, right, what we're trying to do more often than not is with that diagonal, and we play queen e1, queen h4. We use that little opening right there because we don't have the f-pawn, and we try to pressure this knight and get them on h7. They can't play h6 to relieve the pressure there because we would sacrifice. So really awesome stuff here. Really awesome stuff. But my opponent goes queen to h4 check, which looks really good. Typically, you want to deliver queen h4, queen h5 if you have a knight that's hitting g3. However, when I play g3 and they go knight takes, which looks really nice for them, and now they're 2 pawns up and looking to go a rook up, my bishop goes right there onto f2 perfectly, and this bishop defends against queen e4 check, which would, of course, drop the rook. But now I'm counterpinning them. They thought they had me. No, I've got you with the bishop on f2 here. So bishop d6, as I thought, just kind of delays things just one move. As I play here, queen to f3. Now trying to take this knight, for example, if you castle here, this is even worse than losing a knight for you because your queen is hit and then h7 is hit on the other end. So we should be all good. They play queen h6, which I guess is the most challenging move, and I take the knight and check. And so now, well, what I should have done is just queen d1 like a normal person. Defended my rook here, and then just been up a piece for... I guess they've got a few pawns, but we've got so much development for this piece here. And the king is not doing good, and I'm not even down a rook. Instead, I gave a rook. So my advantage goes down from +2, almost. About +2. Yeah, here. To equal. Equal in this position. h3 takes knight g5. It's zeros. It's zeros. So it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, my opponent actually plays the best defensive move. So my idea here was, like, I have knight h3 with tempo here, so you spend a lot of moves fishing for my rook. You're up a rook and a couple pawns. However, I've got the h and the f files open. That's what I've got. So, and you don't have too many defenders around. So if you castle, of course, I will kill you on h7. So not so easy to defend here. If you play rook f8, I'll play knight takes, attacking the rook, and then maybe I'll pop right back out and keep bothering you and such, and other invasions, hopefully before you make me pay for being down too much material. My opponent plays here pawn to f5, really good defense. Probably the best. If f6, again, I was going to grab h7. And I'm not trapping the queen. I'm aware I have this move knight c3, which is nice. It defends a2, attacks the queen with the rook also protected. If you take the knight, I do have check winning your queen. So that wasn't possible. But queen b2, rook b1, I was looking at this during the game. The queen isn't really trapped here. I mean, the engine says I should do some crazy line. But, okay, in the game, yeah, so I should have gone for said crazy line. I played knight takes h7, which was fine. My opponent actually finds the best move. The other moves are not as good. My opponent plays the best move, which is king d8, dodging my threat, knight to f6, check, and if it's check, then I will take your rook next turn. But if it's not check, then it's not so good. You just take my rook and then take the knight. So, big difference. I play queen h5, still going after it. I mean, what else can I attack? My ideas are here and here. My opponent, again, with the best defense. Bishop to d7. So I go check, and they slide over king c8. So my opponent manages to play f5 and then run away really effectively to defense. They couldn't bring the other pieces over in time, but they could bring the king over in time. So I take here rook d8. So they do a great job, actually, just bundling up and trying to stay with their extra stuff. So I play knight to f6. Best move, trying to make something happen. And here, the best move and the only one to... So they need to play, like, a5 to create something, or b5 to prepare king to b7. Crazy stuff here. b6. Why not even b6? Some weird line. Take, check, unclear. In the game, bishop c6, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because you don't want to play knight c6 either, because now d7 is lacking protection, and it will allow me to have some resources here. In the game, so bishop c6, I go down rook h8, which is the best move, and we're still zeros on the engine. Bishop e8, which wasn't right. So they could have gotten away with knight d7, allowing this trade. It looks very scary, because now I'm maybe pulling you back in this direction, but you can shield or even play king to e7, and you'll be okay. Interesting stuff. But my opponent got desperate here. Finally we cracked, right? Defend. Even against the title player, a great player who found a lot of defenses. Eventually they're going to crack. So they thought that the 8th rank attack here was going to be too much, followed by the queen and the knight getting a king that looks exposed on d8, but it's actually should be okay. But they play bishop e8, and it allows me to just take it, so now I'm winning. And after knight to c6, well, there is actually a checkmate sequence I missed here with the take, and rook h7, because we got 2 threats, c7 and b7. So you can defend b7, but you can't defend the other one. So that's actually really nice. I play knight f6, which is still winning. b6, which looks good. Looks like kind of the only way out, because I'm threatening queen d7 check, right, which is a really nasty blow and trying to take this. b6 looks like it defends against that, because you have king b7 in that position. However, after b6, I do have other pieces. This bishop has not really been used yet, and goes bishop a6, slamming the door on that escape route, jamming you in on king b8. And I actually had checkmate in 1, knight d7, which I missed. That's actually a really nice checkmate in 1 with the pin. But queen to d7, which just delayed it for a couple moves here after takes the rook, because we're threatening to take on d8 twice, and that one I actually saw with the bishop, again, facilitating all checkmate threats, in this rook helping me with the checkmate threats by taking away that square. So they take here, and queen takes c6 with no defense here whatsoever, with their queen out of the game for the entire game here on move 24. We have 2 fewer rooks than my opponent, but we are about to have 1 more king than them. What a game. What a game. What a game. Subscribe. You feel like my gambits are getting popular? What do you think? Do you like that, or do you not like that? Let me close out of a couple things here that I got open, which were, I think that was the reason things were lagging. Typically I close everything before I start streaming. Yo Dan resubbed for tier 1 for 5 months. Shout out to you. Shout out to Yodan. Thank you for the sub, sir. Magno Escobar Une. We've got some crazy games so far, but I think we spent too long analyzing, because I've won all the games, but I'm not in the top 20. Knight a4 right now is crazy. Knight a4 before I even had a chance to breathe. I wanted to keep my bishop on this diagonal, but what if I take and check, and then fork? Is that like so? Is that possible? What's happening there? Knight c3. Queen h1. I think, is this... Maybe I'm falling into some bait, because they played it like it's prep. I feel like if you're a Vienna player, you would know, like, a move. Okay, this would... If it's check, then I take the knight. So g3, right? Takes, and now I fork you. That was kind of my idea. No, if they're thinking, then it's no longer prep. Yeah, I mean, I take the rook. I was concerned about getting out of there, but we should be fine. Bishop g2 takes. Knight f3 out. Otherwise, knight f3 immediately. Looks like it could be problematic. If they got 2 more moves, queen e2 and bishop g2, so queen e2 so that my queen's not hitting. But they don't. So knight c3, queen h1, knight f3. I have d6. Wait, let me just confirm. I have d6. No, I don't have d6, because then bishop b5 check. So, okay, wait. We've got to fight our way out then. Knight f6. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. After knight f3, we need to fight our way out. But no, they just go for that. Here, we should be fine. Alright, well, we need some other pieces, but nobody's trapping our queen. Nobody is trapping our queen. I mean, like, this is an idea. We need the bishop support. This is another idea. I'm not sure that does so much, right? Like, they just move it. Alright, let's just play knight out. Alright, yeah, we got him. I mean, bishop takes f2 was a really nice tactic, right? Like, they played knight a4, and immediately alarm bells went off in my head, like, oh, knight on an unprotected square. How can we make that use of that for tactical reasons? And we did with check, and check here, forking the knight on a4 and the bishop on, and the rook on h1. This is also why, like, don't panic if you've never seen the move before. I know a lot of people put, like, too much of an emphasis on this. Like, oh, wow, they played something new. Like, it might be new because it's bad. Like, there might be a good reason you've never checked it. And you maybe, and if you understand the position, you can take advantage of it. But also, like, you know, if you just do normal stuff, like if I just moved bishop e7, like, it wasn't a big deal. Like, the knight's just here, it's going to have to come back to the game at some moment, right? So, yeah. Anyway, we're chilling here. Up a lot of material. What's up, Raheem? I love your London and Grafe attack ones. Awesome. Appreciate you. Alright, let's just trade queens and win because we're up material. Gambit man going to be the endgame up material man. Do I have any cool gambits versus knight f3? Yes. Well, sometimes I play the walrus when I'm messing around. I mean, I can't, like, wholeheartedly recommend the walrus the same way I wholeheartedly recommend some other lines on my channel, you know? Here, knight takes c6, queen takes b7. I was going to go king d7 in that position, honestly. I think it's fine. Like, I think your king is much more exposed than mine is in that case. But the walrus is knight f3, e5, knight takes e5, and then knight c6. Or knight takes c5, I mean, and then you can do whatever you want. But knight c6 I often play, and then if they take it, dc6... okay, I mean, this doesn't do much to me. If they take it in dc6, then it kind of looks very Stafford Bushgas-esque. But they don't have to play e4, exposing this diagonal, right? They don't have to. I mean, I was going to go here, but my king, I could play king h8. Okay. Alright, we should probably pick up the pace. Maybe I should just bring out my pieces. I kind of thought they were going to eat this pawn. I keep giving them a chance. Seems strong. I mean, yeah, I should bring this out. This is good, though. Oh. Great vid, my last one. Thank you, thank you. They were actually on an upload schedule, so which one are you referring to? Just remind me real quick. Was it the Morphe one? But yeah, I've been working hard on some new content that it's always content I'm passionate about making, right? That's the reason I make it. Bush gas one. Oh, yes, nice. I fell back in love with Morphe's games. They're just so incredible. Oh, another London? Another victim? Another victim? Don't go B3, bro. DC5 here. So, 2 London games where my opponent's not playing main lines. Alright, so what's up? You got some prep here? E5, what's going on? Rook B1, Queen C3, I need to defend this pawn. Rook B3, takes Tate here, and then I lose this, right? If I play E6, I guess this is annoying. Other option would be knight a6. Alright, let's just get out the way. I think rook b1 was like coming, and I didn't really know what to do about it. Honestly, queen c3 might have been a good move. Kind of regret not going queen c3. This variation was in my video? I appreciate you. Wow. You know my video better than I do. What did I say about a delayed DC5? Okay, let me just grab the pawn. I mean, he wants to give, like, another one. I don't need that many pawns, bro. Alright, let's just play D6, E5, and let's get out of here. This variation was in my video, damn it, and I don't even know. You've been hit? I don't know, but, like, why is this even dangerous? Like, what trap could I have fallen into? Like, they took here, I took B2. Isn't their structure, like, kind of destroyed? Like, why would you play this if you were white? What's the point? An 84 might be annoying. 84 might be annoying. Alright, I gotta go politics. I mean, like, we could have made that trade. But, alright, we'll castle long. Could be a nice center. I could play D5 or F5 with this still solidly defended. This was a hit. Now, I mean, I'll move one of them and take it if I can. Otherwise, rook's coming to G8, knight's coming to C6. Can they punish me for being in the middle? I don't think so. You also have to worry about if you're white. I can maybe play F5 and E4 and just win a piece. Maybe not. There's bishop B5 check. Okay, well, now it's a problem, right? I mean, you didn't castle. F5, knight moves, and then I take this pawn, right? So, should I go F5 or D5? Let's go with no, F5, because D5 there's check and takes. So fork here is kind of a no-go. I don't really know why they played this move. But yeah, I mean, if I never played this and I just went here, and castle, I think my position was like a really, really solid extra pawn. I don't know if I had any weaknesses. I had good file for my rooks, and then I had a really mobile pawn center. But we're going to go for even more here, forcing their king to move. E4 there is still on the table, so let's block it. Yeah, we're just a couple pawns ahead. Rook C1 is what they should do, so they have Rook C2 in that position. I'll probably come back Queen A3 as my queen continues to haunt their queen side. Just kind of floating around there. But they don't have the resource. Like, if they had resources here, they could cause problems for my queen. Alas, not really. My queen's the one cleaning up pawns and making threats. It's taking this pawn, this pawn, this pawn, and might take the last one too, which is all 4 of their starting queenside pawns. Threatening E4, they'd go here. Let's go bishop E6. Seems like good enough trade for us. As we prepare, well, I don't know. Where should my king go? Honestly, it might be safest in the center. That's where my best pawn mass is. I could just bring it to A8, like castle and come that way. They want to trade. Okay, that's fine. I could take, and after rook takes, maybe queen A6. But honestly, I'm up some pawns here in this endgame. D5, should we play it? Maybe not. Let's just win this endgame up a few pawns. That was maybe easier. No, I mean, this is actually really nice. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Oh, no, you can't come there. Now you'll try to come to F4, but I have a backup pawn taking it that away, too. You're running out of squares. Oh, I'm going to bring my knight right in the middle. Oh, my God, look at that. Look at that knight. You think the knight is shielded well enough? Let's go rook C2, skewering their knights. Oh, my goodness, what a knight diamond. A knight diamond. Fitting for the baseball game later tonight. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. We can check out what I should have done. against DC5. I think what I played was probably fine. The engine gave me a 93 accuracy. So okay, we were talking about this position, and I had DC5. And I didn't mention it last time this came up. I mentioned B3, and I mentioned these knight moves with leading to queen takes B2, but B3 leading to the Envy Gambit. Queen C1 should just be a free pawn. I don't think white really has much compensation here. There shouldn't be any reason black shouldn't be able to just castle with just developing the bishop in either direction. So DC5, queen B2, knight D2. No, this is fine. Queen B4 and queen A3. Queen A3 I played was fine. Queen B4 slightly better. But, yeah, not a lot for white here. Like, to have compensation, you need better development. You need better king safety. I don't know why white has either of those things here. I don't know what white has for the pawn. Like, okay, they go here, takes. They could have played here, like, let's say bishop E2, I think would have been, like, a more reasonable move than C3 played in the game. Let's say they played this. I go D6, they go castles, I go E5, they move their bishop somewhere. I go here. No, it's just a very clean pawn. There's nothing. I genuinely don't know what white can attack or why they gave this pawn. It was like an extra move, but yeah, I gave one tempo. So I don't really get it. Right now they're not really down a pawn, but it's just the C5 pawn seems so hanging to me that here the best move was rook B1. Here you could play bishop G5, which is a little bit bothersome, trying to play pawn takes F6 if I move this. But okay, I could probably just go here. So, yeah, I don't know. Here we played E5. This was annoying. I should have played knight D7, so that knight E4 wasn't a resource. So they took it. The point being that they have knight E4 here, which ruins what I was going to do, castling short. Knight E4 forking the queen bishop. We go pawn takes, knight E4 now. This was very strange. Probably just castles is best, but then, yeah, like I said, it still should be a pretty solid extra pawn. So in the game, H4, F5. Oh, well, they should have gone here, and then apparently they were doing well. How is that possible? I guess, yeah, when I went F5, this pawn is vulnerable. And not easily defended. This is interesting, because E4 now... Ah, well, this is hanging. Oh, as soon as this is no longer check, this is hanging. So I'm actually dealing with that threat and this. So not castling was kind of an annoyance here. So we both missed that. I shouldn't have hit this knight at all. D5 and F5, both bad moves. D5 because of check and take. Best was just bishop E6 and just develop the knight and castle the king. So F5, but they go here, which now I just drive the knight away. I take this, I play knight C6, not hanging my bishop here. The rook C1 now doesn't hang the bishop, as I mentioned. And here we're just up several pawns, trade queens, and we get them. This was actually really pretty. Just a gorgeous endgame position, up a couple of pawns. And yeah, really nice, really nice. GG. How do I get the eval on book moves? Oh, I have this extension, Google Chrome extension called Lichess Tools. Shout out to SideRight, the developer, who's a Gambit Chad in the Discord server. But, yeah, Lichess Tools. Great extension. And allows you to customize lots and lots of things there. What's up, Hex? Alright, we're playing 2100 here. G6. This is a good line my opponent's playing. Take an 82. Go RQ1. I'll take it an 82. I think it's fine. C3 or D3. Protect. Here. I'm just gonna like keep this solid. I don't think they should have made that capture. I think they opened me up. Okay, but my opponent's playing here quite well, I would say, in general. A4 is a resource here. Could try and take and queen b4. Not a bad way to play, but obviously a more enticing way to play is where their king is headed. Like, for example, here, queen h4. This seems like a problem if you're black. All right. Alright, what if I give my rook? Oh man, what if I give my rook? Take... Alright, if I go check, king g8, take king h8, rook f7. Not off the table, but maybe better. First of all, like, just to be clear, if I play bishop f6 and just trade here, like, I would be so shocked if they could withstand that storm. I also have this as a resource, rook f1, knight f4, like, tons of other things that just win the game like a normal person. But I'm not a normal person. I want to sacrifice my rook. And I think that I will do it. Boom. Gambit glasses on. Why attack with no risk when you can attack with lots of risk? Like being down a whole rook. Okay, I could have gone check also there. Takes king h8 and rook f7. Which I think also was winning the game. Yeah, I think very decisively so. Okay. Anyway, this is the spicy line, so we played it. Rook to f1. You have to play knight f5, and I think you're just getting martyred. For example, rook takes... Can I do it all with checks? No. Let's just take here. And this is literally checkmate. Bro! That was too good. That was too good. Oh my goodness, what an attack. What an attack. Let's have a look here. Let's have a little look-see. 98 accuracy, 10 average centi pawn loss. Where'd I lose the points, though? Where'd I lose the points? Alright, so bishop b5, trying to take here and double the pawns and such and play against double pawns long term. My opponent didn't want that, so knight d4. Knight f3 developing, giving them the option to grab the bishop pair, but then I would get some rapid development. Queen takes d4 on the table there without the queen being able to be attacked by that knight. g6 played castles, bishop g7. Now I take this knight, trying to just kind of free the rest of my pieces, take this off the table as an option. So take knight e2, looking at maybe c3 and d takes c3 as a way to get this bishop out. But my opponent plays a6, could go bishop d3 if I wanted to force that. But bishop d3, they haven't moved this pawn yet to d6, so I think they could play your d5 in one go. And they're doing well. Yeah, they're doing well here. So bishop a4, I keep that pin. Now they drive me off, but now there's no d5. You know, no more pin, but no d5. So bishop b7, logical move. I play d3. Okay, so we set up like so. So they have the... this pawn on d4, I'm able to get this bishop out. My bishop never had to retreat to d3. So, like, kind of like a normal position here. There's a number of ways they can play. They play d5, d6, e6, everything out. But, yeah, I mean, they're kind of a blank slate here other than a couple of fianchettoed bishops. They play your d5. I like this move f3. I actually never played f4. I mean, f4 and e5 would have been great. Would have jammed out the bishop and attacked d4, but I can't play that in one turn. I'm not trying to allow this trade to happen, which opens things up for them. And now this pawn is strong, very easily defended, and when the pawn becomes strong here, now this pawn will become weak and be easily attacked. So, very important here that I played f3. D takes e4, f takes e4. Now they play your e6, which is a fundamental misunderstanding of the position. So, the problem here is that e6 makes sense if you're playing against f4, f5. e6 and 87, the point of that is to stop, is if the pawn is coming to f4 and just stop the advance to f5. It's that sort of structure, but I never played f4. I don't have a threat of f5. So playing e6 and 87 is actually just a colossal waste of time. And the knight was never useful on e7. I don't know what it's doing there or where it could go. Knight should be on f6, shielding this, and also defending h7. And you saw in the game that those spots just got murdered. So I proceed here without my f2 pawn. I have my favorite little maneuver here. Knight jumps to e7. Bishop comes out to g5. Castles, yeah, they just castle into a firestorm. They have no sense of danger here, and queen to h4 comes, and it's already over +4. Yeah, you don't have f6 here. I'm just attacking that too many times. Also, e6 is hanging, by the way. Yeah, I mean, look at how great all these pieces are all of a sudden. Only way to... By the way, the engine's recommending literally just giving this up. So, that's how bad their position is. Whoops. So, pieces are firing for me. They play a rook e8, and rook takes f7 was the best move. Rook takes f7 was the best move, but everything else is winning too. So, this is +4.5, this is +4.5. I'm sure many other things are as well, but this was best. So, takes f7 I have here, and now I grabbed h7. By the way, rook to f1 check was winning too, as I mentioned during the game. King g8 force here, and rook to f7 with not only the threat of taking this knight, but moreover probably the threat of bishop to f6, piling up on g7, and then maybe mating them on h7 on the other end there. So, Yeah, or takes g7, bishop f6 check, and queen h6, and these pieces, it's all just so good. It's all just too much. They don't have the resources to defend this at all. So here's queen takes h7, and now the king has nowhere to go on either side as rook to f1 check comes. You don't have anywhere to block either. Knight to f5, this is pinned. They try to move the queen out the way to allow the knight to come to f5, but you know what else is pinned? Here, so that's literally just checkmate. That's what happened in the game. I don't know how to defend it. Rook comes where? F8, let's say, so that if check, you can go here, so that you're only losing this, and you're able to make a trade of that rook, which matters, but there's still too many resources to kill you. Knight to f4 can jump in as well. So just overwhelming stuff in this game, and we got him. Yeah, this came out of a closed Sicilian, just e4, e5, knight c3, and you guys have seen me play like Grand Prix structures on this channel many a time, looking for that queen e1, queen h4 maneuver and f5, trying to open up that f-file, bishop h6. You know me, I'm a big fan of queen e1, queen h4. I'm a big fan of the queen getting to h4, most aggressive spot around the king, and yeah, because generally the knight comes to f6, so like I can't use these squares, obviously, like I'd love to, but yeah, so good attacking principles. Yan Yan next time. Yan Yan next time. Alright, World Series is going to start. So, you know, I got to sign off to go watch that. Go Toronto. Go Blue Jays. I don't know if any of y'all are baseball fans, but I'm a Mets fan, as hard as that is here. Oh, this is my guy. It's been a tough season for us. It's been a really tough season. But I'm rooting for Toronto in this series. Alright. Happy Halloween, you guys. I'll see y'all later. Subscribe here. Please subscribe. Please follow on Twitch. I really appreciate it. You'll get notified when I go live. And I will be going live and posting more exciting attacking Gambit full content. The link tree here, by the way, full repertoire. Go to the link tree. The link should be right there. Full Gambit repertoire. Click on any of these. Oh, I don't know what to do against the London, as we talked about today. Boom. That's what you do against it. Full repertoire video right there for you. Everything you need. And also join the Discord here. Awesome community. And get notified when I go live and post.